The shuttle glides through pale morning light and lands beside the Terran Biodiversity Dome. Its hull steams a little in the cool air. Inside the shuttle, a quiet group of alien students unbuckle their straps and look through the window with wide eyes. They see the great glass curves of the dome, the green plants inside, the soft mist, and the narrow walkways that thread between microhabitats like silver lines on a leaf. Dr. Amara Khan waits at the airlock with a calm smile. She is a human biologist and a field instructor. Her coat is simple, her hair pulled back, her badge neat. Behind her stands Mina, a graduate assistant with a tablet in her hands and a friendly nod for each visitor. The door opens with a gentle sigh. The students step out into fresh air and birdsong. Gorthar follows last. He is not a student. He is the visiting chaperone and a champion on his world. He is tall and strong, with armor plates worked into ceremonial clothing. He carries himself with respect, not pride, but his presence still feels like a drumbeat. The students look to him often as if his steady gaze is a compass. "Welcome to Earth," Dr. Amara says. Her voice is warm. "Today we study small predators. We learn how size is not the same as power. We also practice safety and respect for life." The group enters the dome. The air is moist and clean. Sunlight pours through the glass like warm water. They pass a peat bog in a deep tray, a miniature desert under a heat lamp, and a tiny forest of ferns. Hollow panels glow near each habitat, showing simple diagrams, chemical maps, and short notes in many languages. Krishal walks near the front. He is curious and gentle. He takes in details and asks quiet questions. Luma walks beside him, a data lover who notices patterns. She watches the air vents, the sensors, and how the lights shift to guide foot traffic along safe paths. She is not afraid, but she is careful. Gorthar follows with a thoughtful look. He seems to measure every railing, every seal, every choice. Dr. Amara leads them into a clean room with wide glass windows. In the center sits a micro-terrarium, the size of a small suitcase. It is mounted on a table with rubber feet and ringed by scanners. A transparent shield curves over the top like the lid of a cake. Inside the micro-terrarium lies a piece of pale driftwood, a scrap of moss, a copper coin for scale, and a delicate silk bridge that looks like frost on a web. "This is the salt lace weaver," Dr. Amara says. "It is one of Earth's smallest spiders. It is beautiful. It is also effective." Gorthar folds his arms. He smiles in a kind way. "On my world," he says, "warriors train with storms and great beasts. Small things do not trouble them." Dr. Amara nods. "I understand," she says. "Please watch." She gestures and the room lights dim. A hollow display rises over the table. In soft colors, the spider appears at 10 times its true size. It does not look frightening. It looks like a quick, careful tool made by nature, as simple as a pin and as precise as a needle. The hollow shows its silk threads, its light steps, and a small feeding probe, which is a safe device used for research. "See the silk?" Dr. Amara says. It places the prey. "Now see the venom." The image switches to a smooth diagram of molecules and channels. The students lean closer. "This venom targets certain ion channels in nerves," she explains, "and those channels are common in many species. A small dose can stop signals if no treatment is given. We study this to create anti-venom. We do not harm living beings." Mina taps her tablet and another image appears, a calm lab bench with small dishes. "These are in vitro tests," Mina says. "Cell cultures only. No animals, no risk." The results show something important. In some species, these channels are very active. Luma raises a hand. "Which species?" she asks. Mina glances at Dr. Amara. Dr. Amara nods for honesty. "The Threxian channel type," Mina says, "is very sensitive in the dish." Gorthar lifts his chin a little. He does not take offense. He takes in the information. "You mean," he says, "that a bite, if left untreated, could stop a champion?" "In theory, yes," Dr. Amara says, "without treatment. But our goal is the opposite. We prepare, we build protocols, we make anti-venom, we teach respect." Krishal looks from the gentle spider in the glass to the tall champion near him. He feels a shift in his thoughts like a door opening in a quiet house. "Small," he says softly, "does not mean weak." "No," Dr. Amara says, and her smile is kind. "Small often means specialized." A soft chime sounds from the wall. A yellow bar appears on the control panel. Mina checks the screen at once. "Alert from Habitat B," she says. A ventilation glitch caused micro-predator migration in a separate zone. She scans the details and relaxes slightly. No breach here. Our weaver is secure. The room lighting shifts from pure white to a gentle amber. A calm voice from the ceiling speaks. Amber protocol. Please proceed with heightened caution. Dr. Amara's tone stays even. We continue, but we slow down, she says. We do not rush. Safety is not fear. It is care. The students watch as she demonstrates the layers of protection in this room. She points to the micro-terrarium seals, the transparent shield and the negative pressure hood that would pull air inward rather than outward if a seal ever failed. She shows them the micro-drone sentries that can deploy a harmless gel barrier in a second. She shows the glove box bay, with thick sleeves and a clear interior. Every step has a checklist. Every tool has a place. Luma studies the airflow map displayed on a side screen. The lines dance like light threads. She notices how air enters slowly, crosses the workspace and leaves through a hidden filter in the floor. Her mind likes the pattern. It feels like a quiet promise. Gorthar asks if he may step closer to the glass shield. Dr. Amara says yes, but she reminds him to watch the painted line on the floor. We always know where our bodies are, she says. We never lean past this line, he nods. He steps up to the line and stops. He looks down into the micro-terrarium. The spider does not move. It rests at the base of the driftwood, almost invisible. Its silk bridge shines like a breath caught in sunlight. This is not a weapon, Dr. Amara says. It is a living thing shaped by time. It does not hate. It does not plan harm. It acts to survive. We respect that. We also respect our own safety. A faint ripple crosses the room's status panel. Luma catches it first. What was that? She asks. Mina checks her tablet. Auto-balancing of the air system, she replies. A tiny correction. Normal. The ripple is small, but the moment of attention is enough for something very human to happen. Gorthar shifts his arm to rest his hand more comfortably. His bracelet, which is sleek and ceremonial, gently taps the edge of a recessed maintenance panel at his side. There is a soft click like a whisper. The panel does not open, but the sensor inside reads the tap as a tolerance breach. At once, the room speaks again. Hold position. Safety scan in progress. Everyone becomes still. Dr. Amara raises her hand with a calm motion that means wait. The lights grow a little brighter over the seals, and a little softer over the visitors. The panel on the wall shows a simple diagram. Green circles appear around each secure point. Krishal feels his heart beat faster, but he keeps his hands at his sides. Luma watches the sensors. She counts the green circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The sixth is yellow. It is the maintenance panel Gorthar touched. Mina steps to the control station. We are fine, she says softly. The enclosure is secure. The shield is secure. The hood is secure. The glove box is secured. The maintenance panel is seated but flagged. We follow the checklist, Dr. Amara nods. We will reseat the panel, she says. We will do it through the glove box to avoid any reach across the work surface. Gorthar speaks at once. It was my hand, he says. Allow me to assist. Thank you, Dr. Amara says, but trained staff will handle it. He bows his head slightly. Please, he says. His voice is sincere. A visitor must not cause trouble and then stand aside. Dr. Amara weighs this. She looks at the students, who are attentive and calm. She looks at Mina, who gives a small nod. Very well, Dr. Amara says. You may assist on one condition. You follow every instruction exactly. No improvising, I agree. Gorthar says. They move slowly. Mina opens the glove box hatch and checks the seals. She guides Gorthar's forearms into the thick sleeves. He flexes his fingers, careful not to press on the clear barrier. Dr. Amara talks him through each step. Find the panel edge. Do not pull. Do not push. Press the latch. Listen for the click. Then press again to seat it. Gorthar follows each word like a measured dance. He presses the latch. There is a gentle click. He presses once more, stronger but not hard. The panel settles. The sixth circle on the wall goes from yellow to green. The room does not cheer. It does not need to. The green light is enough. As he withdraws his hands, something thin catches the light near the edge of the glove box port. A single hair-like filament, stretched and loose. It is not from the living enclosure. It is from a demonstration tool used earlier. a harmless thread of silk used to show how light plays on a line. The cleaning drones missed it. Krishal sees it and speaks softly. "There is a strand," he says. "Good eyes," Dr. Amara replies. Mina uses a small vacuum wand through the glove box to collect the filament. The wand hums once, then stops. The thread is gone. "Small things can bridge gaps we do not see," Dr. Amara says. "That is why we move slowly. That is why we never hurry near a living specimen." On the other side of the glass, the tiny spider stirs at last. It steps along its E-micro-T. The group walked in calm steps toward the response bay. The amber light at the ceiling stayed on, but it felt softer now, like a gentle reminder to keep minds clear and movements slow. Dr. Amara led in front. Mina stayed close to the back to count heads and watch the path. Kreshal and Luma walked side by side, trading small observations in quiet voices. Gorthar kept a respectful distance, hands folded, eyes taking in every sign and seal. They passed a row of micro-habitats on the left. Each was a world in a box, a patch of moss, a slice of desert, a tiny reed marsh. Every space had a small plaque with simple rules. Look closely. Do not touch. Respect time. The words felt peaceful. The dome hummed with gentle air and soft light. Even with amber protocol, it did not feel fearful. It felt careful. At a turn in the corridor, a floor light flickered to guide them into a side route. Mina checked her tablet. "Habitat B maintenance is still running," she said. "We will take the service corridor. It is safe but narrow. Please follow the line." They entered a quiet channel with smooth walls and clear panels that showed the filtering systems. Fans rotated like calm stars. Airflow data moved across a screen in slow waves. Luma's eyes lit up. To her, the waves looked like music. Kreshal watched the tiny particles in the filter media and thought about how many small things protect big lives every day. A gentle voice spoke from the ceiling. "Reminder, amber protocol. Step count slow. 4 counts per tile." Dr. Amara lifted a hand and showed 4 fingers. "We follow," she said. Gorthar matched the pace exactly. He did not resist the slow rhythm. He embraced it. In his world, warriors trained with storms and giant creatures. Here he trained with time and breath. He felt an odd kind of challenge in it. The more he watched, the more he understood that discipline, not force, ruled this place. The service corridor opened into a light, clean space with large cabinets, a stainless counter, and a wall of labeled kits. This was the response bay. The air was cooler here. Everything had a label, a color code, and a clear instruction card. On one side sat a long case with a simple name, Salt Lace Protocol. Dr. Amara placed her hand on the case. "This," she said, "is our plan for the unlikely event. We do not expect it. We still prepare." She opened the lid with a soft press. Inside, the team saw sealed vials, auto-injectors, cold packs, bandage rolls, and a small device that looked like a pen with a screen. Mina pointed to the pen. "That is a dose scanner," she said. "It checks body weight, species, and time since exposure and then guides the dose. We designed for calm in a busy moment." Kreshal leaned closer. "How do you make the antivenom?" he asked. Dr. Amara smiled. "With care," she said. "We study the venom in safe, small samples from a colony that lives under good conditions. We map the molecules. We model how they touch the ion channels. We build antibodies that bind and block. Then we test in cell culture and advanced tissue models. We update over time." Luma raised a hand. "Is it ready for Threxian bodies?" she asked. Mina nodded. "Yes," she said. "We collaborated with Threxian med teams and received voluntary ethical data. We validated in models. This is why our labels are in your language too." She turned an instruction card over. The back showed clear steps in smooth Threxian script. Gorthar stepped forward with care. "Can this truly stop the effect in a strong adult?" he asked. His voice was calm but serious. "If time is against us, can this win?" Dr. Amara met his eyes. "If used quickly and correctly, the odds are very good," she said. "The key is not courage alone. The key is a team that knows what to do." Her words sat in the room like steady stones. Gorthar looked at the kits, the labels, the clean counter. He thought of battles with noise and rush. He thought of the small click of the maintenance panel earlier. He thought of his bracelet touching the edge and how a quiet accident could become a chain of events if a person moved too fast. He felt a small weight in his chest, but it was not shame. "It was responsibility. I ask a favor," he said slowly. "Not to test harm, to test us. May we run a safe drill? I wish to see how my students move in a moment of pressure." Dr. Amara considered. She glanced at Mina, who gave a small nod. She looked at Luma and Krishal, who both stood a little straighter, eager but focused. Then she turned back to Gorthar. Yes, she said. A drill is wise, but we will keep it contained and clear. No real exposure. Only a simulation. She touched the console on the wall. The screen showed a simple menu with time blocks and scenario names. She chose Salt Lake Sim A and pressed start. A soft tone sounded. A timer appeared, set first to pre-brief. We begin with rules, Dr. Amara said. This is a teaching drill. If anyone feels confused, say pause. We stop and reset. The goal is steady steps. The pre-brief ran like a gentle checklist. Mina assigned roles. Krishal, you read the instruction card aloud. Luma, you manage the dose scanner. Gorthar, you will be the patient for the scenario, but we will not touch you with anything. You will answer questions so the team learns the flow. I will observe time and call steps. Dr. Amara will watch safety and explain the why. Krishal took the card. The letters were big. The steps were short. He liked how clear they were. Luma lifted the dose scanner. It felt solid and light in her hands. The screen was friendly. It asked simple questions. Gorthar stood by a marked spot on the floor. He practiced slow breathing so his voice would be even. The timer shifted from pre-brief to drill. A calm tone rang out. The ceiling voice spoke in plain words. Simulation. A possible exposure is reported. No real hazard. Follow the card. Krishal read the first line. Confirm scene safety. Everyone looked at their marks, at the path to the door, at the kit locations. Mina pointed to the assembled kit on the counter. Ready, she said. Identify the person, Krishal read. Check for species, weight, and allergies. Luma held the scanner like a pen and asked Gorthar basic questions. He answered in short sentences. She tapped the screen and watched the device calculate a recommended plan. Plan ready, she said. Call remote support, Krishal read. Mina pressed a button on the wall and spoke to the practice hotline. This is a drill, she said. Team size 4. Simulated exposure. Proceeding per card. The voice on the line replied in kind, gentle and clear. The steps flowed on. Place the area at rest. Keep the patient comfortable. Prepare the injector. Luma mimed drawing a dose from a vial into a training injector filled with water. Krishal called out timing checks. Dr. Amara pointed to a small icon on the card that meant breathe. We breathe out together, she said. And they did. It felt good. Then the drill added a twist. The wall screen flashed a new message, paradigm step, enclosure auto rotation. This was part of the training scenario. Not a real event, but the sudden change raised new questions. The words reminded everyone of the moment in the lab when the weaver had moved and the sensors had chirped. The room did not change, but the feeling did. Krishal felt his chest tighten for a second. Luma's fingers hovered over the scanner. Gorthar's eyes flicked to the door in instinct, then returned to the team. Mina lifted a hand like a conductor. Checklist first, she said softly. We follow the card. Confirm no breach, Krishal read. Mina checked the status screen for the drill model. No breach, she said. This is only a training note. Continue plan, Krishal read. Luma stabilized her hands and confirmed the dose plan again. She spoke it out loud. If real, we would inject now on the outer limb, she said, pointing to a training diagram on the wall. We would not compress the area. We would monitor breath and heart rate. Gorthar listened like a student in a sacred hall. He did not feel small in a weak way. He felt small in a right way, precise, exact, part of a clean machine of care. He looked at Krishal and Luma and saw bright focus. He looked at Mina and saw calm leadership. He looked at Dr. Amara and saw a teacher who built a path before anyone needed it. The timer reached the end and chimed. The ceiling voice spoke. Simulation complete. Debrief begins. Everyone exhaled and smiled a little. Dr. Amara clapped once softly. Good, she said. Now we talk. What went well? Krishal spoke first. The card, he said. It was easy to follow. The steps were short. Reading out loud kept my mind from jumping ahead. Luma nodded. The scanner helped, she said. It asked clear questions and kept my hands busy in the right way. When the training twist appeared, I looked at the card again and felt steady. Mina added a note. You all paused your shoulders, she said. I watched your breathing. That small reset kept your hands precise. Gorthar lifted his chin and bowed slightly. I learned where I am strong, he said, and where I must grow. I am used to loud pressure. Here the pressure is quiet. It asks me to be gentle and exact. That is good for me. Dr. Amara listened to each voice and then offered a final thought. Power can be a rush, she said. But safety is a rhythm. You found the rhythm. You can teach it now. The amber light remained, but it felt almost like gold. The response bay looked even cleaner than before, as if the drill had washed the room with confidence. Mina sealed the training injector and logged the time. Luma set the scanner back on its cradle to charge. Kreshal folded the card with care and placed it in the kit. Next, Dr. Amara said, we will walk back through the main lab. We will review the living enclosure from the viewing line only, then we will close with a short reflection. Later, if you wish, we can run another drill with a... The debrief room was bright and quiet, with soft chairs and a wide window that looked out at green leaves moving under the dome's high glass. Dr. Amara asked everyone to sit. She placed a small wooden box on the table and opened it. Inside were smooth stones with single words painted on them. Listen, breathe, focus, help. She invited each person to choose one. Kreshal took listen. Luma picked focus. Gorthar reached for help, then paused and with a small smile took breathe first. Mina chose help. Dr. Amara held the last stone, focus, then put it back and folded her hands. Before the reflection could begin, a soft chime sounded in the ceiling. The light did not change to red. It stayed amber, but the room voice spoke with a new note of purpose. Attention staff and guests. Habitat B reports continued micro-predator migration within safe limits. No breach. Guidance request, route observation team for learning review. Mina looked at Dr. Amara. It is an educational request, Mina said. They want observers for a controlled review. Dr. Amara nodded. We accept, she replied. This is a chance to see how calm work continues when the system has a small ripple. She stood. We will go together. We will not enter the habitat. We will watch from the glass and listen to the team. We will see how preparation looks in a real moment. They walked with steady steps, 4 counts per tile. The air felt the same as before, clear, cool, gentle. The dome's long curve led them to a wide observation corridor with thick windows on one side and a clean control station on the other. Inside Habitat B, 2 technicians in light suits moved with care, guided by a supervisor behind the glass. On the far end of the habitat, a narrow vent cover was open. Inside, a miniature net shone like a silver square. Kreshal pressed his palm lightly to the glass and then pulled it back, remembering the line. They are catching the travelers and guiding them home, he said. Exactly, Dr. Amara said. No fear, only gentle correction. Luma studied the pattern on the screen at the control station. They follow airflow, she said. They place the net where the air moves. Gorthar watched the supervisor, who was speaking in a quiet voice that never rushed. The technicians placed a small buffer gel around the vent to seal tiny edges, confirmed the seal with a handheld meter, and logged each step. They never hurried. The work looked like a slow dance. The supervisor turned to the visitors and spoke through the intercom. Thank you for observing. We had a small ventilation glitch this morning. The system recovered, but we always check. We use positive control. Even if the numbers are good, we still verify with our eyes, our tools, and our lists. He smiled. We like lists, Mina smiled back. We like lists too, she said softly. The group watched for several minutes. Nothing dramatic happened, and that was exactly the point. The team finished their checks, closed the vent cover, sealed it with a bright label, and logged the time. The supervisor raised a hand in thanks. The viewing light turned from amber to green. Kreshal felt an unexpected comfort in the quiet ending. Luma nodded as if a simple sum had proved itself. Gorthar had the look of someone placing a final piece into a pattern and seeing the whole picture at last. As they walked back toward the main lab, the dome brightened as clouds outside shifted. Sunlight ran across the walkway like a ribbon. Dr. Amara stopped near a small fountain and faced the group. All right, she said. We finish our lesson where we began, at the micro-terrarium, but only from the viewing line. We will close with a project proposal. They returned to the room with the tiny spider. The air seemed warmer here, touched by the living breath of small things. The salt lace weaver sat at the base of the driftwood, a thread of silk glowing faintly above it. The feeding schedule ticked in quiet numbers. Dr. Amara opened a sealed drawer and brought out a portable case with the same name as before. Salt Lace Protocol. She placed it on a side table away from the enclosure and left the lid closed. Today, she said, you learned that small can be powerful. You also learned that power without preparation can be risky, but preparation turns power into knowledge and safety. She looked at Gorthar. Champion, may I ask you something? He placed a hand over his heart. Please, he said. If this tiny creature could harm a Threxian without treatment, what protects a Threxian most? Dr. Amara asked. Gorthar did not answer at once. He looked at the spider, then at the case, then at the students. A team, he said. A plan, a breath. And respect, Dr. Amara's eyes warmed. Yes, she said. This is the heart of our work. We do not remove every risk. We build paths through risk and make them smooth for others. Mina stepped forward. Dr. Amara, may I share the draft? She asked. Please, Dr. Amara said. Mina tapped her tablet. A soft hollow appeared above the table with simple words. The Small Power Initiative. Beneath it, a short list glowed. Map micropredators on multiple worlds. Share venom profiles across species, ethical, safe. Approved. Build anti-venom libraries and update them. Train teams in calm drills. Teach public respect for small life. Kreshal felt the idea bloom in his chest like a golden flower. Luma took in each point and saw how data would flow like clean water from one step to the next. Gorthar smiled with quiet pride. We can bring this to the Threxian Council of Health, he said. They honor early planning. Dr. Amara nodded. If you support it, it will move faster, she said. We will send plain language briefs with diagrams, not complicated words. We will include practice cards like the one you used today. The ceiling voice spoke again, gentle. Notice amber protocol ending. Returning to green. All areas clear. Green light washed over the room like a calm wave. It did not feel like a shout. It felt like a deep breath after a careful task. The dome returned to its usual rhythm. Birds outside the glass made small sounds. Water moved in pipes with a reassuring whisper. Now, Dr. Amara said, let us close the lesson. She placed the wooden box of stones on the table again. Tell us, each of you, the word you chose and what it means to you now. Kreshal held up listen. I learned to listen to instructions and to the room, he said. The room speaks with lights and signs. The team speaks with calm voices. If I listen, my steps are better. Luma lifted focus. Focus is not a hard stare, she said. It is a soft, steady look at the right things in the right order. Mina showed help. Help is a plan ready before anyone needs it, she said. Gorthar looked at breathe in his palm. His voice was gentle. A breath keeps my hands kind, he said. It makes me strong in a better way. Dr. Amara put both palms on the table. Thank you, she said. You have all grown today. That is victory. She paused, then added, there is one more step. We must share this story with others in your class and, if you permit, with your communities. Not to make anyone afraid, but to make everyone ready. We will say, a small spider can harm a large warrior if we ignore knowledge. But with knowledge, care, and good tools, small and large can live side by side. Gorthar's eyes shone with a quiet pride that held no noise at all. On my world, he said, we teach that storms demand strength. I will add this, threads demand patience. Kreshal laughed softly, happy. Luma wrote the sentence down word for word. They took one last look at the micro-terrarium. The weaver climbed a little farther along its silk, precise and calm. It did not know it had become a teacher today. It simply lived as it was made to live. Perhaps that was a kind of lesson too. Dr. Amara closed the portable case and sealed the drawer. Mina logged the final notes. The class formed a small circle, a human custom, and bowed their heads for a moment of thanks. For the day, for the safety, for the learning. Then they stepped back and made room for the next group who would visit. As they walked toward the exit airlock, the dome seemed to glow in a gentle way, like a lamp under a soft cloth. The path led them past the tiny reed marsh and the miniature desert. Kreshal noticed how each microhabitat had its own quiet rules that made life possible. Luma watched airflow arrows fading on a screen as systems returned from amber to green. Gorthar placed his large hand on his chest again and looked out across the plants. He did not feel smaller than before. He felt clearer. At the airlock, Dr. Amara turned to them one last time. Remember this, she said. True strength is humble. It plans ahead. It cares for small lives, and in doing so it protects great ones. Krishal nodded with bright eyes. Luma held up her slate where 3 short lines now shone. Small can be strong, calm beats rush, respect makes safety. Gorthar inclined his head in a Threxian sign of honor. Teacher, he said, you have given us a new kind of armor. It is made of patience and clear steps. We will wear it,